Hi everyone, welcome to Age of Warhammer. My name is Ghroll, and today we're going to be doing a quick look at the new Battletome for the Sons of Behemat for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Before I get started, I just wanted to thank Games Workshop for sending us a review copy. So mainly what I wanted to share with you guys is actually all about this guy in the centre here, the new model King Brod. I think it's also got a picture of him on the back there. Very, very nice. Now, there is a ton of lore in this Battletome, as there always is with all of the Games Workshop books. Yeah, it's literally all of that much, which is loads. And there is loads all about King Brod as well. If you want to have a more in-depth, let me move that out of the way. If you want to have a more in-depth review of the lore, then please just drop that in the comments, and we can do another video looking at that more specifically. It's got some really, really cool painting guides, as you can see, different flesh tones and things like that. It's also got, where was it? I think it might be, oh, there's their manky toes, which just look horrific. And awesome at the same time, of course. But yeah, it's got painting guides on the weapons, loads of little bits. So really, really good. I don't think I've seen a Battletome with as many painting guides in, so that's really cool. So, King Brod. Now, in the Path to Glory, let me see where it is. There is actually, in the quest section here, there is actually one called King Brod's Revenge, which I think is really, really cool. This one on the top here. And that actually comes with, which I think is then in matched play. Oh, here it is here. Yeah, Path to Glory here. Actually comes with its own battle plan specific for King Brod, which again I thought was really, really cool. And this is actually a siege battle, which I absolutely love, sieges. So if you want to have a look at that, just pause the video and read that. But that sounds really, really cool. But what I really wanted to spend the time on today is actually to have a look at his rules. There we go, King Brod. A whole page full of rules, as you would expect. So, first off, his stat line. So he's got 40 wounds, 9 bravery, 4+ saves. So not a brilliant save, but I mean, he's not got much armour, so you'd expect that. And then the move is variable, as it mostly is with big things. The weapons he's got 3 melee weapons. Obviously no range, but they're all 3-inch range, as you'd expect, because obviously he's got quite a reach. The first one is the Obelisk of Tor Crania. I think that's how you say it. Please don't butcher me in the comments. So, as I said, range 3 inches, all of them are. Attacks is variable, so look down here. So it starts with attacks 4, and then slowly goes down to 3 and then 2. To hit 3+, to wound 3+, rend -2, and damage 5. Now that is savage. That is going to kill a lot of models. Just that one. But if that's not enough, you've got the Almighty Stomp. 2 attacks. I'm guessing he stomps with both his feet. I don't know. He's got to hit 3+, to wound 3+. Again, -2 rend and damage D3. So not bad at all. You probably kill one or two, depending on what you get on the damage rolls. And then the Death Grip is quite nice. So we got, again, 3 inches. Only 1 attack, because obviously he's just grabbing something with one hand. But then to hit 3+, to wound 2+ on this one. -2 rend again. And damage, let me move that down a bit, there you go. And damage D6. So that's very, very cool. And I can just imagine King Brod just grabbing, like, I don't know, a HQ or something and just squeezing it to death if you get really, really good rolls on that. So we have a look at his move. So it starts at 10, goes down to 8. So, I mean, he stays pretty mobile, to be honest, which is really, really good. Creepers is actually a rule that we'll get into. Let me see. So, where was it? So, Creepers, down here, here it is. So, it's the Almighty Stomp. So, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with this unit's Almighty Stomp that target an enemy unit with a wounds characteristic of 3 or less. So what that basically means is if it's attacking low wound models, so a horde, basically a big squad of individual models, then you add one to the hit rolls. I really like that because it's quite thematic. If there's loads of them and he stomps, is more likely going to hit one because there's loads. So I really like that. And then the creepers, this one here. So in each charge phase, the first time an enemy monster within 3 inches of this unit is picked to carry out a monstrous rampage, roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or greater than the creeper's value, which I'll show you in a sec, showed on the unit's damage table, that monster cannot carry out the monstrous rampage that phase. We have a look at the dice rolls. It starts off at 2. So, I mean, you're really going to interrupt someone's plans with that, more so than not. And then, it gets worse as it goes down, as it always does, all the way up to a 5+. So it becomes much less effective. Crossing charge. Now, this is really nice. When I read this, I was like, you're not going to want this guy to charge your unit. So, after this unit makes a charge move, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit. On a 2+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. But, so, I mean, that's not too bad if you're fighting a big squad. It's only for the unit of D3 mortal wounds. But then, if it is a monster, or D6 mortal wounds if it's not a monster. So it's D6 if it's a monster. If it's not a monster, then it's D6. Sorry, D3 if it's a monster. Oh, I can't say this properly. Right, so let me start again. After this unit makes a charge move, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit. On a 2+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds if it's a monster, or D6 mortal wounds if it's not a monster. So if it's a monster, it does slightly less damage, as you can imagine. If it's a unit, then it's D6 mortal wounds. So I mean, you're going to kill a few with that just off the charge. If it's like 1 wound models. So that's really cool. So I mean, really, if you're fighting against it, you're going to want to be the one charging him, I would have thought, and just tie him up with chaff probably. Death grip. When determining the damage inflicted by an attack made with the unit's death grip that targets an enemy monster, you can roll 2 dice instead of 1 and pick either result. Now, I find this a bit weird that it's saying you'd pick either result, because surely you'd pick the highest. But I guess there might be some circumstances where you don't want to do as many wounds. Maybe you want to be tied up in combat so you're not vulnerable to range attack or something. That's the only thing I can really think of. If you can think of any other reason why you wouldn't pick the higher one, then please pop that in the comments, because I'm not entirely sure. When this unit makes a normal move, runs or retreats, it can pass across other models that are not monsters and parts of terrain features that are less than 4 inches tall in the same manner as a unit that can fly. So obviously you can just step over it, so that's quite cool. If the effect of a spell or ability would slay this model without any wounds or mortal wounds being caused by the spell or ability, this model suffers D6 mortal wounds instead of being slain. So that's really good. So those abilities that just instant kill something, obviously you're not going to be able to do that with a giant. It does D6 mortal wounds instead, so you're a bit protected there. This unit causes terror, so basically enemy units cannot receive an inspiring presence command while they are within 3 inches of any friendly units with this ability. Makes sense. Got a big giant standing over you, so yeah. Timber, so this is basically when it dies, it falls down and does wounds, which is quite cool. Power of the Behemat. So this is a really nice one. So this is actually one where you can actually pick a buff. So Power of the Behemat is a prayer that has an answer value of 3. Add 1 to the chanting roll if an enemy monster has been slain by this unit in this battle. So if it's already done that, then you're more likely going to pass. If answered, pick one of the effects below. The same effect cannot be picked more than once per battle. So you've got 3 effects. You've got add 2 inches to the move characteristics of friendly Sons of Behemat units until the end of the turn. So if you need them to move a bit further, a bit faster, going up the field or whatever, then that's a pretty good one. But these two I really, really like. So, Might of the Earth, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to each, not just one, to each friendly Sons of Behemat unit. And that's not within range or anything. So that's all of your units. Obviously D3 can be one, so not very good, especially with, you know, 40 wound models. But still, the ability to heal everything, I think, is quite good. And Pummel all to dust. Improve the rend characteristic of the following melee weapons used by friendly Sons of Behemat units by 1 until the end of the turn. And then it just lists all of the actual melee weapons. So none of the stomps, none of the death grips or anything like that. It's just the melee weapons. But improves the rend by 1. So if you look up here where the rend was, where it was 2, it obviously improved that to 3, and then doing damage 5. Awesome. So if you're just about to attack a character, that's when you're going to want to do it. And what else I wanted to look at is the points, obviously, because that's quite important. As you can see here, King Brod, 580 points. So it's quite a lot. It's going to be, I mean, all of them are quite a lot. You can see it's all very high. You've even got Kragnos there at 720, which is insane. But yeah, it's a lot, but I think this model's worth it. And to be honest, it's actually making me want to do an army of these. I can just imagine an army of, like, what is it, 5 giants and then a couple of the smaller ones just marching across the battlefield with swarms at their feet as they're trying to swat them away. I think that's a really, really cool look. There's actually some really cool artwork in it, which I'm not sure whether it's been released before, but it kind of shows what I've got in my head. Let me just try and find that for you. Just talk amongst yourselves. Not that one. Where was it? This one here. This shows exactly what I'm thinking of. So, like, big giants with all these little guys, where they're actually not little guys, they're Stormcast. I mean, they're pretty big, but nothing compared to the giants. I just think it looks really cool. And I think it'd be really cool to be both sides of that, to be fighting them and to be controlling them as well. So yeah, very, very cool. So, as I said, let me bring that back over. If you want us to go into any more detail into anything else in the Battletome, then please just drop a comment and we can do that on another video. Overall, I really like the Battletome. As I said, it does actually make me want to do one of these armies. You only really need 5 models. Well, 5 of the big giants and then maybe a couple of the smaller ones. And then you're set. And I think that'd be really, really cool. So I am very, very tempted after getting this Battletome to actually do one of these. I wouldn't mind seeing actually a battle report go up on Warhammer TV. I think that'd be really, really interesting to see how they do. But yeah, cool. So thank you very much for watching. Please drop a comment below what you think of the Battletome. If you're tempted to buy this, to do this army. If you've already done this army, are you going to go and get the king to add? I don't see why you wouldn't. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and also if you check our unboxing video of King Brod, then you'll be able to see the sprues in a lot more detail there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and take care.